Starbooks is the first S&T digital library in the Philippines, bringing science, technology, and innovation resources to learners all over the country. Many of the materials here in this library are inside this Starbooks pod. Books, journals, reports, even rare Filipiniana in science and technology, it's all here.
What we did is essentially we tried to digitize all our library materials that are fit for sharing. The natural progression was, why not make this library content available to those who would want it? We hit upon the idea, why not put them in a hard drive? We didn't want our pods to buffer, especially since the internet might not be available on site. With this one, everything is preloaded. So we have text files, images, even video learning series in the machine. It is what you call a self-contained library and audiovisual resource for science and technology.
We are absolutely inspired by how communities welcomed Starbooks. We felt the need to scale things up, but we couldn't possibly keep up with the demand for Starbooks by ourselves. Private agencies, NGOs, and our government partners readily gave their resources and commitment in literally bringing science to the people.
So nakita po namin doon na walang-wala, only 3 teachers, and then wala din masyadong resource materials.
Prone to hazard mga lugar na yon. So kapag na-devastate sila ng isang typhoon na malakas, so nababawasan talaga yung mga references nila kasi nasisira yung school or yung library.
Sa Albarca, Basilan, kilalang kota siya ng Abu Sayyaf. Doon ko na-experience yung nagde-deploy ka na natatakot ka rin.
We donated our e-learning content to public schools. One is through Starbooks.
We had a common ground because we have the content, they have the platform.
We have to bring the pod, bangka. Yung unang design pa ng pod was cement. Yung base, sobrang bigat nung pod. Pagdating doon, yung in-invite doon sa school was not only faculty, hindi lang students, but also yung mga parents.
Nakikita mo yung tuwa nila. Actually, yung head teacher sila is very emotional eh.
Halos maiyak talaga yung mga...
Mas malaking bagay pa rin talaga na kahit walang internet, meron silang isang
Magandang umaga po sa ating lahat. Awitin natin ang pambansang awit ng Pilipinas.
Ang isla po ay
opening prayer to be led by Miss Louie Marquez.
Thank you very much, Ms. Irene, and isang magandang umaga po sa lahat po ng participants natin today. Thank you very much for joining us. So to start the prayer, let's bow our heads and place ourselves in the presence of the Lord. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for gathering all of us today in this event, our library webinar series. May you bestow your guidance and blessings so that we can all learn today and appreciate the significance of this activity in our work and career lives. Please give us the desire to find ways to excel in our work and help us encourage each other to reach higher and further to be the best we can be. Bless everyone present today, may it be physically or virtually, so that each may be able to share what she or he has for your honor and glory. Please grant good health and safety to all our loved ones and peace and goodwill to all men. We ask all of these in Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Thank you, Miss Louie. Ayan, so good morning participants from all over the Philippines. Amy Poller said, find a group of people who challenge and inspire you. Spend a lot of time with them and it will change your life. I believe your presence today means you have the same goal as ours. That is to learn and eventually grow both personally and professionally along the process. So once again, thank you everyone for accepting our invitation to join us today. It is our great pleasure to have all of you as we celebrate the Library and Information Services Month 2021 with the theme, Libraries Building Roads, Readers, Opportunities, Advocacies, Development, and Sustainability. The celebration of Library and Information Services Month every November is by virtue of Presidential Proclamation number 837, Series of 1991. To our Zoom participants, kindly make sure that you are on mute to avoid disturbance as we go along with the activity. Once again, to our Zoom participants, kindly make sure that you are on mute. Ayan. That is to avoid disturbance as we go along with the activity. Ayan, shout out also to our Facebook Live viewers. Ayan, thank you so much for joining us today. We are very sorry we cannot accommodate everyone in the Zoom room. But anyway, there is no difference. Now, to be more acquainted, may we ask both our participants in Zoom and in the Facebook Live to chat or comment the place where you're from and give us a description of your town or city. Ayan, para magkakilala po tayo because basing from the registration form you accomplished, we have registered participants from all over the Philippines. That is Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. So mas maganda po na malaman natin kung saan nanggaling ang mga narito po ngayon na ating mga kasama. So for example, since I'm from Kabayan, Benguet, I would say from Kabayan, Benguet, the home of mommies. Yan. Oh. Okay, so we have here from Tuguegarao City. Wow, ang bilis. Okay. From Iloilo City, the home of Batchoy. Okay, nice. From Tuguegarao City, hottest city in Philippines. Ayan. Okay, thank you. Nakamute na po sila. Ayan. From Baguio City, the city of pines. We also have from Zamboanga del Sur. We have from Bulacan. Wow, tingnan natin sa Facebook. Okay, so ang dami na. from La Union, from North Cotabato. We have from South Cebu City. Magandang buhay from Division of Caloocan City, wherein tao ang una. Okay. Sige, paano ba to? Gingoog City. Okay, the City of Good Luck, Region 10. We also have from Santa Mesa, Manila. Swag Mahayag. Okay. Wow, from Tanay, Rizal. We have here from Quezon Province, from Tinok, Ifugao, Pehed ni Agsapa. Pehed ni Agsapa, Onigayo. We have from Isabela, okay, naimbag, Agsapa, kada kayo amin. From Baras, Rizal. From La Union, the surfing capital of the North. Yay. Wow. So sabi ko na nga ba di ba? We have from Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. Ayan. So once again, thank you so much for joining us today. Now, for those who haven't filled out our attendance form, kindly go to this link. Ayan po. And please inform your friends who were not able to join, or to receive the email for the Zoom link to join us instead in the Facebook Live. So na-max out na po natin yung ating Zoom room. So sa FB Live na lang po sila mag-join. Okay? And while the rest are answering the evaluation link, ayan, tuloy-tuloy po tayo sa pagkakilala. We have from Oriental Mindoro, the Golden Gate of the South. We have from Orion, Bataan, from the province of Aklan, known for Ati-Atihan Festival. Wow. From Taguig City, ayan. From Tarlac Province, the Melting Pot. Maayong buntag. Okay. Nice. So dalawa pa lang yung nakita ko na nagsalita ng pananalitan nila. Ito. Mayap Aabak po from Holy Angel University, Angeles City, Pampanga. Mayap Aabak po, sabi niya. From Dumaguete City, wow. From Sorsogon City, from Bacolod City, the city of smile. Wow. From Marikina City, from Davao de Oro. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you for your very, very active participation. Ayan, balikan natin sila sa Facebook Live. Okay. Okay, so from Bae City, ayan, Division, or Bae City Division, Region 7. From Pampanga, wow. Okay. Ayan, once again, thank you so much everyone. At tuloy-tuloy po ang pag-accomplish po natin ng ating attendance form. Para po sa mga mag-join pa po, please inform them to accomplish our attendance form. Now, I am Irene Alice Brillo, and I am your moderator for the 3-day webinar series, a Science Research Specialist 2 of the DOST-STII Science and Technology Information Institute. Now, we might still be facing the challenges posed by this pandemic. However, with the grace of God, we believe that eventually everything will fall into place. We hope that through this activity, we will continue to inspire one another as we continue to deliver our services to our clients. At the same time, taking good care of our personal and professional growth. Now, to inspire us more, let us hear these messages from our DOST officials. First off, we have this message from our very own Secretary, Honorable Fortunato de la Peña.
Magandang umaga at sa ngalan po ng Kagawaran ng Agham at Teknolohiya, ako ay mainit na bumabati sa ating Library at Information Science Professionals sa pagdiriwang natin ng 2021 Library and Information Services Month. Isa rin pong mainit na pagbati sa mga professional organizations na narito sa ating virtual opening ceremonies sa ilalim ng Philippine Librarians Association Incorporated or PLAI sa pangunguna ni National President Dr. Emma Ray, PLAI Executive President Elisa Garcia, PLAI Vice President for Luzon Amor Martin, PLAI Vice President for the Visayas Rosalie Pepito, and PLAI Vice President for Mindanao Abubakar Mama at mga miyembro ng PLAI Executive Board. Nais ko ring batiin ang katuwang ng Philippine Librarians Association Incorporated sa pagpaplano at pagdaraos nitong 31st Library and Information Services Month. Ang Science and Technology Information Institute sa pangunguna ni Director Richard Burgos at kanyang mga librarians at IT support staff. Maraming salamat sa inyong lahat. This year, the annual holding of the Library and Information Services Month has chosen for its overall theme, Libraries Building Roads. Roads is spelled out as follows: readers, opportunities, advocacies, development, and sustainability. ROADS, roads. Development and sustainability are always at the heart of what we do at the Department of Science and Technology. We take our marching orders from Executive Order number 128, which paved the way for the elevation of the country's Science and Technology Agency to cabinet level to become the present DOST. EO 128 mandates the department to provide central direction, leadership, and coordination of scientific and technological efforts, and to ensure that the results therefrom are geared and utilized in areas of maximum economic and social benefits for the people. Hence, it has become our priority that the fruits of publicly funded research and development programs should ultimately benefit the Filipino people. The underlying philosophy of our rallying cry, Science for the People. We embrace the imagery you evoke in your theme of libraries laying the groundwork for an informed society, making the right choices in pursuing more sustainable pathways for development. The time has come for the country's librarians and information science professionals to take on a more proactive role in shaping the minds and hearts of Filipino readers, to show them there exists a world of knowledge that can guide Filipinos towards advocacies that lead to a brighter, more sustainable society. Many of you, may you also guide them towards a more rational, science-based way of thinking, anchored on solid facts and seasoned with years of experience-based insights. We at the Department of Science and Technology take the position that the time has come for Filipino culture to evolve from its old bahala na mentality and become more reliant on scientific knowledge and be as technologically agile and creative as the rest of the world. We also want more science-based decisions, not decisions based on who has the loudest voice. For this reason, I urge our library and information science professionals to challenge yourselves to continually try and learn new technologies and processes so you will be more adept in the use of new tools and resources. For your information, I personally pushed the inclusion of library and information science as a course eligible for DOST scholarship at all levels, bachelor's degree, MS degree, and PhD. You may be asking why I am a strong advocate of advancing library and information science in our country. Here are the reasons. When we started out the National Engineering Center in UP Diliman, that was around 43 years ago, one of our major programs was information service. And for a number of years, I co-led a project supported by UNESCO called Selective Dissemination of Information. In this case, it was selective, not really inclusive, because we had registered users who are engineering practitioners. Second reason, I used to chair the e-government committee of the Information Technology and E-commerce Council from 2002 to 2004, and e-library was one of our projects. Third, I actually was called the father of Philippine e-library consortium, composed of DOST, National Library, UP, CHED, and DA for the period 2004 to about 2009. And fourth, the Philippine e-library project, which I led at that time, was one of the reasons why I was given the Dangal ng Bayan Award by the Civil Service Commission in 2005. I believe that now, upskilling and reskilling is the best way to obtain and enjoy the satisfaction of contributing to the advancement of new knowledge and the education of new professionals, even scientists on the edge of research. People should be aware that librarians and information professionals are our vital partners in expanding our knowledge in our chosen fields. To this, we scientists and research professionals express our gratitude for all your assistance. In closing, I wish to extend my warmest congratulations to all present today as we celebrate the start of the 31st Library and Information Services Month. I wish you all the best. Maraming salamat at magandang umaga sa inyong lahat.
That was a very inspiring and challenging message from our secretary. So, as he mentioned, we librarians should challenge ourselves to continually learn new technologies and processes to be more adept to new tools that we can use. And take note, one of the priority courses under the DOST scholarship is Library and Information Science in all levels. So if you are interested, you can send a message to the DOST Science Education Institute. Ayan, next, we have the Undersecretary for Scientific and Technical Services. Let us hear from Dr. Renato U. Solidum Jr.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for your warm virtual welcome as we open the 31st Library and Information Services Month. As you all know, the National Library of the Philippines and the National Committee on Libraries and Information Services of the National Commission for Culture and the Arts commemorate Library and Information Services LIS Month in accordance with the Proclamation number 837, series of 1991, declaring the entire month of November as LIS Month. This year, we celebrate LIS Month with the theme, Libraries Building Roads, Readers, Opportunities, Advocacies, Development, Sustainability. We focus on capturing the essence of the library's role in attaining the Sustainable Development Goals promulgated in the UN 2030 Agenda and integrated into our Philippine Development Plan 2017 to 2022. I wish to highlight the valuable role our libraries and information centers play in our ongoing drive to achieve the goals for a sustainable, inclusive society. I urge you to keep an eye on the services you can offer to promote the achievement of all 17 Sustainable Development Goals whenever possible. The world, as we know, is driven and shaped by the forces of information. Everything we need to know about development, social inclusion, and even how to conduct ourselves as citizens of this country and of the world has already been written, even when the body of knowledge on those subjects are continually being updated and produced in every part of the globe. As librarians and LIS professionals, you are the gatekeepers of such knowledge. You connect people with the information they are seeking in whatever format it is available. Indeed, librarianship is a people's profession. All library-related jobs have one central purpose: to help people access and use information. It can be for education, work, or even for pleasure like a hobby. Let us get more actively involved. Let us arm ourselves with the knowledge as well as the commitment to highlight the key value of sustainability, not only as a concept, but also as a paradigm for life itself, a paradigm that allows people and society to meet the needs of today without compromising the ability of succeeding generations to meet their own needs. In closing, I entrust that on the occasion of the 31st Library and Information Services Month, you will take seriously your role as gatekeepers and brokers of transformational knowledge. Let our libraries build roads that shall bring us closer to the achievement of our Sustainable Development Goals. Maraming salamat at makaagham na araw sa inyong lahat.
Maraming salamat po, Yusek Rene. And thank you so much for that very motivating message. And thank you for reminding us of our roles as gatekeepers of knowledge. So, challenge po sa atin ni Undersecretary is to arm ourselves with knowledge and also to provide information in whatever format available to help people access and use information, may it be for knowledge or for leisure. Okay, once again, thank you so much, Sir Rene. Finally, let us hear from the Director of the DOST Science and Technology Information Institute, Sir Richard P. Burgos. Sir Richard, good morning po.
Hi, good morning. Thank you, Irene. And to all of you who are participating in this 3-day webinar. Naibag na daw kada kayo amin. Magandang umaga sa inyong lahat. Maayong buntag kaninyong tandan. Buenos dias a todos ustedes. All right? So, to Secretary Boy de la Peña, who addressed us earlier, to Yusek Rene, who also just finished addressing us, to the President of the Philippine Librarians Association, MRA, to all the other speakers in this 3-day workshop webinar. Again, it's a pleasure to join you, right? But I'd like to improve on what the Secretary said, you know, so para bang ayoko naman isipin na PLAI, gusto ko PLAI, mas malapit sa fly, we go higher, we have a better vision of things, and we get things done more efficiently at PLAI. Right? So to all the librarians out there, so I join you in celebrating the Library and Information Services Month for the year 2021. And especially our theme for this month is libraries building roads. And roads, that means readers, opportunities, advocacies, development, and sustainability. Kaya kung kayo ay naghahanap ng mga bridges or buildings, hindi po yung build dito. All right? Ito po yung library webinar, and we are building roads. That means to say readers, opportunities, advocacies, development, and sustainability. So this activity is really aligned with the United Nations 2030 agenda and in promoting, the sustainable development goals. And of course, we're also aligned with the Philippine Development Plan for 2017 to 2022. All right, so it's a great opportunity to come together as professionals involved in information services. All right, naiinggit nga ako eh. Kasi librarians today, they really have one of the most exciting jobs and one of the most multifaceted jobs that you can imagine. All right, kasi librarians, and especially science librarians, engage partners, our scientists also, with latest resources, as well as technological developments. Kasi sila, they're catching up with the fast technological changes, but they're also reaching out to their very specific user groups. No? So they not only seek out their clients to understand their needs, all right? So they reach out to scientists, to students, to the public at large. They also seek out ways to showcase their research activities in a number of ways, okay? So, ang mga skill sets na tinitingnan natin dito ay, number one, kailangan knowledgeable sila in various subject resources, okay? And kailangan tech-savvy rin ang mga librarians ngayon, okay? Not enough to be just knowing the various sections of your library. You have to know how to use technology, okay? And librarians also need to understand the scholarly communications ecosystem. How do scholars communicate? How do they promote their research work, etc.? Okay? So I think there's also one more skill set that librarians, especially science librarians, have to be good at, and it is to understand the grants mechanism. Because alam naman natin, most of the researches are done with the assistance of grants and funding resources coming from elsewhere. Now, in order to help our scientists and researchers, we need to understand better what are the guidelines that regulate the grants, okay? So, para naman, yung research material or output can be aligned with those guidelines, all right? So, what are the trends that I am seeing from where I sit now, okay? So I really think that the librarians should be conversant about open access, okay? So if you are not, I mean, you probably belong to the older generation, okay? I think librarians also should be learned about open educational publishing, because there are new ways now of publishing, okay? They have to be good at understanding scholarly communications. How do scholars communicate to each other? How do they cite each other, okay? How do they create impact for other researchers? All of that on top of a good understanding of what are the requirements of government regulatory organizations about data management. Okay, so kasi andyan na tayo ngayon. They have to be parang very familiar and conversant with halimbawa data repositories. Okay. So hindi lang physical libraries ang pinag-uusapan natin dito, including digital na yan. So yung ating data repositories, are you even aware how exposed they are to risks nowadays? How do you ensure that your data repositories are unassailable, unhackable? Okay. We have to be very familiar with discovery systems. What are the new ways of accessing information? All right. May mga e-book variations na. Okay. So hindi lang yung physical books, but including virtual publications. Okay. And importantly, we also need to understand what are altmetrics and research analytics, the tools that we can use to appreciate better the impact of our researches. So, future scenarios for librarians are exciting kasi nga we're going beyond the boundaries of the physical library today. Okay, of course, I will see physical libraries. See, I'm very positive we will go back to the old normal with a new normal. Okay, when libraries are able to open up to their clients in a few months. Okay, so I see that the physical library will continue to be relevant. Okay, your physical collections will continue to have a meaning and serve your clients. Okay, the physical library could be a good place for study because it's quieter and you are near the resources themselves. Okay, the physical library is also going to be a good place for social networking. As you know, researchers need to be friendly with other researchers also. No, but I think we have to be able to prepare our libraries for that virtual connectivity, okay, where we provide access to books, to journals, and to databases, okay, to our clients anytime, anywhere, on any platform, okay, on demand. Kung kailan tayo kailangan, kahit natutulog tayo, our libraries are able to assist our clients. That is going to be really radical and exciting. When we work with information that is easily accessible, all right, that is easily shared and synced, all right, by our users, that's accessible in real time for the users. Kahit na natutulog tayo, we're still able to help them. Okay. I'm happy that we have a good example of a library that has gone digital, example of StarBooks. This year, we celebrate 10 years of StarBooks, okay? It's a digital copy of our physical library. And what has happened since then? O madami rin, okay? So, right now, where we stand, more than 5,200 units of this information kiosk have been deployed all over the country, right? Mostly in public schools, but also in other government agencies, NGOs, NGAs, okay? Okay, and ang ganda dyan, the Department of Education has adopted StarBooks and included it in their Learning Commons. We signed the Memorandum of Agreement on February 14, okay, last year, just before the pandemic took over us and challenged all of our systems. Ang maganda dyan, we were ready for the pandemic. Kahit na dumating yung pandemic, ay handa tayo. Okay? Why? Because we digitized 10 years earlier. Okay? So, the other good thing about StarBooks is that it has been included in the last 5 years in the NEDA National Priority Plan. Okay, this year, 4 lang yung government projects included in that plan. And anybody who wants to donate, to contribute to these programs or projects can claim tax deductions, okay? So that's a great thing to have achieved, to be included in the NEDA National Priority Plan. So as I said, this year, 4 lang po ang nakapasok dyan. 2 sa 4 ay coming from our institute, okay? And this is really a great advantage, no? Kasi kagaya ng one time, my friend messaged me on Facebook Messenger, said, Richard, how are you doing? It looks like you're enjoying your job. And I said, oh nga naman, why don't you come over and let's have coffee? And so she came together with the president of their foundation, and they work for Telstra, the Australian telco company. Right? They came over and we gave them a briefing about this project, and they were so interested. Okay, so by the end of that afternoon, we sat down together for coffee, and they said, Richard, we want to help you bring StarBooks to remote areas, especially to indigenous people's villages where the schools don't even have electricity. They don't have libraries, okay? So they said they will help bring us or Starbucks to 7 of these areas where their own mountaineer employees have already visited and identified. So, nagpakapilang po kami. They were ready to put down 2 million pesos on the table. Kaya naman po, yan ang sinasabi ko. All right? We invite all of you to come to DOST-STII. At malay mo, masarap pa rin ang aming kape, pero maghanda-handa lang po kayo ng inyong contribution. Hindi po ba? The pandemic has not been a showstopper for us. In fact, I'd like to see that this pandemic has been an eye-opener for us, that we actually can overcome the challenges, the physical restrictions by being creative, all right? Okay? And by our ability to pivot, to perform, and excel, okay? Yung pivot, ibig sabihin, you do things differently. If you cannot do them physically, you do these things differently. Okay. Kaya nga, nag-webinar sa mga librarians. They have virtual tours to our library na patuloy naman natin ginagawa. Mas marami pa ngayon ang mga nakikinabang ng ating mga services sa library than before because we were able to pivot, okay, and still perform and excel. Kaya naman, pivot, perform, excel, yan po ang ating PPE to ensure that we will not only thrive, but we will survive and succeed despite the pandemic. So with that, again, I have an open invitation to all of you to visit us when things are better at the DOST-STII Library. Libre lang po ang kape dito, pero mag-usap po tayo. Magandang hapon sa umaga sa inyong lahat. And please, please, be engaged, listen carefully, network through these 3 days of our webinar workshop, and spread the benefits you may have learned from this workshop to your own clients and users. Thank you very much. Magandang araw sa inyong lahat.
Ayan, maraming salamat po, Sir Richard. Napakarami po ng inyo pong sinabi na maganda sa puso at maganda sa isip. And I believe with all those motivating, inspiring, and challenging message, all the participants here are excited and eager to listen to the different plenary topics that we will be having starting this afternoon. So once again, thank you, Sir Richard. Now, to introduce our keynote speaker, we have with us Ms. Linderlit M. Maglake, the Supervising Science Research Specialist and Head Librarian of the DOST-STII. Ma'am Linder?
Yan. Thank you, Irene, and good morning, everyone. Kumusta po kayong lahat? So thank you for joining us this morning. It is my great pleasure to introduce our keynote speaker for this morning, for our event. So she is a graduate of Bachelor of Library Science and Master of Library Science with a specialization in Archival Studies from the Institute of Library Science, now School of Library and Information Studies, University of the Philippines, Diliman. She first worked as librarian at the Board of Investment, then as documentation officer at the Bureau of Foreign Trade and Economic Information Specialist at the National Economic and Development Authority, or NEDA. She worked as an archivist in 1989 to 1992, then as a director from 1992 to 2005 at the Legislative Archive Service of the House of Representatives. In 2005, she was promoted as the Executive Director or Director 5 of the Congressional Library, a position she held until her retirement in 2018. As an archivist, she was a founding member of the Southeast Asia Pacific Audiovisual Archive Association, or SIPABA, and became the chair of its Education Committee from 2004 to 2008, and represented SIPABA in the task force meeting of the Coordinating Council for Audiovisual Archives Associations on training and professional development of Audiovisual Archivists in London, UK, in January 17 to 18, 2006. She is also the president of the Society of Filipino Archivists from 2007 to 2010, vice head of the National Commission for Culture and the Arts, National Committee on Archives in 2004 to 2010, and 2014 to present. She is a member of the UNESCO Memory of the World National Committee from 2007 to 2010, consultant and vice president of Salvador H. Laurel Personal Papers from 2008 to 2010, George Vargas Research and Filipiniana Center, University of the Philippines, 2013 to 2014, and a consultant from Purita Calao Ledesma Foundation in 2018, and a senior lecturer, Archives track at the School of Library and Information Studies in UP Diliman. As a librarian, she was the president of the Philippine Group of Librarians from 2007 to 2009, and as an advisor from 2010 to present. She is the vice president for Asia of the Association of Parliamentary Librarians in Asia and the Pacific from 2015 to present, and a part-time faculty at the Library and Information Science Department, Virgen Milagrosa University Foundation in San Carlos City, Pangasinan, a province north of the Philippines. And at present, she is the president of the Philippine Librarians Association, Incorporated. So let us all welcome our keynote speaker for this day, Ms. Emma M. Bray. Hello, Ma'am Emma.
Sandali. Okay ba? Maraming salamat, Miss Linder. Maraming salamat din sa mga naunang nagmensahe. The cream of the crop, sasabihin kong ganon, Miss Linder, no? Parang hindi na kailangan ng keynote address tulad ng sinabi ko last time sa inyo. But anyway, magandang umaga sa inyong lahat. Mula dito sa San Carlos City, Pangasinan, na kung saan ay ako'y na-lockdown since last year. Masantos siya kabuasan at si kayon, amen. That's yun po yung aming salita dito. So I'll start with the keynote. Honorable Secretary Fortunato T. de la Peña, Undersecretary Renato U. Solidum Jr., Director Richard P. Burgos, Ms. Linderet Maglake, fellow officers of the Philippine Librarians Association, dear participants, good morning. Today we are starting our webinar activities to celebrate the 31st Library and Information Services Month. For the Philippine Librarians Association Incorporated, it is also a celebration of a partnership with a highly respected government agency, the Department of Science and Technology, specifically DOST Science and Technology Information Institute. For me, as the outgoing president of PLAI, this is an unexpected bonus that when Ms. Maglake asked us if we can do this activity together, I said without hesitation, natatandaan nyo, that yes, because we cannot say no to DOST-STII, for we highly appreciate your information sharing activities, especially during this pandemic. The declaration of the Library and Information Services Month under Proclamation number 837, Series of 1991 by President Corazon C. Aquino has enshrined library and information services in the Filipino consciousness. The law mandates the National Library of the Philippines and the National Commission for Culture and the Arts, National Committee on Libraries and Information Services, to plan and implement programs focusing on raising public awareness to the invaluable service that libraries and information centers render, that of providing data and materials for lifelong knowledge and learning, for research, and for leisure. November, therefore, is a month dedicated to all librarians, information professionals, and library workers who give life to the services of libraries and information centers, and all LIS professionals and institutions are enjoined to conduct their activities. This is why we are having this webinar. For this year, our theme is Libraries Building Roads. Readers, opportunities, advocacies, development, sustainability. Personally, I am happy with the word roads in our theme, whether we take it to mean the wide way leading from one place to another, one with a specially prepared surface which vehicles can use, or a long narrow stretch with a smooth or paved surface made for traveling by motor vehicles, etc., between two or more points. Because I want to attach a more symbolic meaning to roads as journeys. With or without the vehicles, paved or unpaved, the many roads going to our libraries have brought people from all walks of life to our institutions. Roads, they say, can symbolize life journey, our libraries and librarians' journey. For the Philippine Librarians Association Incorporated, the roads we have taken, the highways and byways of our journeys, no matter how bumpy or smooth our travels were, should speak of what we are now as an association. The accredited integrated professional organization with 10,089 members, registered librarians in our roster, and about 7,000 active, recognized among the 46 professions by the Professional Regulation Commission. We are nearing our countdown to our centennial year in 2023. And I know that our first PLAI president will be happy with this partnership with the scientific community. I always tell our young librarians to be proud of our history, as we have the bragging rights to have Dr. Trinidad Pardo de Tavera, eminent Filipino scholar and scientist, educator and statesman, as our first president. How many roads have librarians built, paved or unpaved? How many readers have passed through the roads that we have built? How many librarians are walking through unpaved roads but still continue with their sworn duties of serving the public? What opportunities have our roads offered? What opportunities have we given to our students, our lifelong learners, farmers, women, the indigenous communities, the elderly, and the differently challenged individuals? Are our clients aware of the roads, the alleys, the lanes that we have paved? Did our roads contribute to the development of our society, our country? Have we built sustainable roads strong enough that they can endure for the next generation? Today, you will hear stories of librarians in their work and in the communities, especially in the tortuous road of the pandemic. Then we go back to the theme, R for readers. I am reminded of the very reason why we celebrate the National Book Week every November 24 to 30. Of course, it's another celebration, but well within the Library and Information Services Month. 87 years ago, the founders and pillars of the Philippine Library Association Incorporated lobbied for the celebration of the National Book Week. And in his proclamation, Governor General Frank Murphy in 1934 clearly stated the only one reason for the celebration: arousing of a national interest in the reading of good books as a patriotic duty and privilege. So are for readers that our libraries foster lifelong readers and learners. I am sure that many of you are one with me in thinking that lifelong readers start with our young learners. When do we begin teaching our children to read? The International Federation of Library Associations and Institutions gives us the IFLA guidelines for library services to children aged 0 to 18. Mention was also made on the United Nations Convention on the Rights of the Child, covering all aspects of a child's life. The document stated that children should be able to rely on libraries for their right to information and education, and children's librarians should be at the forefront of promoting children's rights as they play a key role in literacy development and disseminating information. So as early as age 0, our libraries should be there. How do we then reach out to babies age 0? Of course, our work with our young learners should include people around them, their families, their caregivers, and the community that will raise our children. So buong society. In the IFLA vision, it was also stated that if children can be inspired at an early age by the excitement of finding knowledge and by works of the imagination, they are likely to benefit from these vital elements of personal development throughout their lives, both enriching themselves and in enhancing their contribution to society. So readers, there is also a study about the relationship between reading age and long-term life outcomes, that reading ability is predictive of the likelihood of unemployment, type of occupation, and salary level. Concerning health, the research also revealed that between reading ability and both mental and physical health outcomes seen in the patterns of health behavior taken to prevent ill health and promote good health, meaning health literacy, which is defined as the ability to seek, understand, and act on health information. We librarians, therefore, should be conscious of reader development, which would involve active intervention, selling the reading experience and what it can do for them, offering opportunities for people to share their reading experience, and raising the status of reading as a creative activity. So all for opportunities. Libraries are places for opportunities. The resources and services they offer are central to a creative and innovative society. Libraries open up roads and doors to different people, to a place where mothers can take their children to read their first stories, to a safe haven where students can study, to a service allowing anyone to borrow a book, access the internet, or do research. We build roads to provide opportunities for community social activities. They may be open spaces, locality where people live, or a community of internet, or a virtual community. Roads to distinct places such as community centers or hubs, a place for information and ideas, somewhere to meet, open to all, free and welcoming. Today, we see libraries opening up as centers of community life, activity centers for health, well-being, and social care, business hubs, health information centers, and many more emergent services because of this pandemic. So they are third places for family activities, community celebrations like fiestas, art and culture festivals, a place with which the whole community identifies. A for advocacies. Advocacy simply means to actively support a cause. Libraries are our cause. Many people in the community recognize that libraries are an important institution, but there are people who feel that technology has made library services obsolete, and the current economic situation sometimes makes their argument compelling. Libraries should open more avenues and thoroughfares to make their presence felt by their publics. They should be engaged beyond the four walls, so to speak, of their libraries to stay relevant, make themselves visible, to remind their readers, community leaders, and public officials of the fact that libraries provide great learning opportunities, excellent public service, and invaluable contributors in their communities. The message that libraries are unique and valuable must be communicated loud and clear, that we are more than just books. We are social places for meetings. We are human services for those who have needs for survival. We are the first door to learnings for young children, and we are the place for training for lifelong learning. We are so much, and we need to shout it out loud in our communities. Advocacy is such an easy word, yet so complicated in the minds of many in the library community. This is why librarians should connect well with their communities. We must update the image of libraries, librarians, and all library staff for the citizenry of the 21st century through our advocacies. And this webinar represents DOST-STII's and PLAI's advocacy. D for development. Libraries are important development partners because of their unique role in providing access to information. Librarians have the skills and resources to develop and to organize and use information effectively for development and improve decision-making. Libraries offer countless learning opportunities that can fuel economic, social, and cultural development. Ben White, head of intellectual property of the British Library, shared this story. It is the inspiring story of William Kamkambwa from Malawi that underlines the difference of library can make. Mr. Kamkwamba, having borrowed a book about windmills from his local library, learned how to build an energy-producing turbine for his village. On the strength of this experience, he got an opportunity to study further at a leading US university, so that one book not only changed his life, but also transformed the lives of those from his village community. And such stories explain why many countries are eager to ensure that libraries continue to provide access to knowledge, learning, and ideas. S for sustainability. Libraries are sustainable institutions. They play a key role in the preservation of indigenous knowledge, which includes local decision-making about fundamental aspects of life, such as livelihood, land use, water management, climate change, etc. With the environmental problems, our world is in. Many libraries have added sustainability as their core value. Library organizations act as their own ecosystems, improve their health by intentionally reducing their environmental footprints, including reducing waste and saving energy. Most libraries have embraced in their core values sustainable thinking as reflected in their programs on staff time and energy, facilities, collections, and technology. They undertake projects like composting, paper reuse, printing reduction, and single-use plastic reduction. Our own department at the House of Representatives, for example, launched a waste disposal program minimizing the use of plastics and incorporated energy-saving measures throughout our building. And I think that culture of sustainability is carried over to our own homes and families. Safeguarding and preserving invaluable documentary heritage in any form is another aspect of sustainability that libraries ensure for future generation as culture strengthens local communities and supports inclusive and sustainable development. So that's it. Libraries build roads. Whatever road, wherever road, big or small, long or short, paved or unpaved, even roads less traveled, as long as they lead to our libraries, are third places, and as long as they have in their hearts and minds readers, opportunities, advocacies, development, and sustainability, we can ensure our future generation a better future. So let's keep our journeys. Stay safe. Mabuhay ang mga libraries, mabuhay ang mga librarians. Maraming salamat.
Thank you very much, Ma'am Emma Ray. That was a very informative message. So punong-puno po yung message ni Ma'am Emma, and she gave us different meaning and different and inspiring meaning of roads, readers, opportunities, advocacies, development, and sustainability. So as we celebrate this LIS month through this 3-day webinar series, we are given several challenges. So to add with the challenges posed by Secretary De La Peña, Undersecretary Rene Solidum, and Director Richard, Ma'am Emma gave us this challenge to ponder on with regards to roads. So ang definition ni Ma'am Emma ng roads is our journeys. It's either paved or unpaved, and these roads have brought people to from all walks of life to our institutions. So this is the challenge. How many roads have we paved? How many readers have walked through these roads? What opportunities these roads have offered? Are our clients aware of the roads, the alleys, or the lanes that we have built? Ayan po. So those are important challenges that we need to ponder on. And most importantly, ayan, we have to make sure that our libraries are open and has a very welcoming atmosphere. So we hope that through this 3-day webinar, we will somehow be armed with the knowledge that will be imparted by our speakers that will help us make our roads better and offer better opportunities to our clients. So for this 3-day webinar series, starting this afternoon, here are the different topics that we will be looking forward to. Again. So for plenary session 1, we will be starting by 1:30 this afternoon. And the registration will start at 1 o'clock. So 1 o'clock to 1:29 po, we will be opening the attendance link. So the attendance link for this morning is different with the afternoon's attendance link. Okay, so for topic 1, this will be imparted to us by Ms. Zara Gagatiga. The topic is on school library advocacies. And by 2 o'clock to 2:30, we will be hearing from Mr. Lauren Kepaan to talk about academic library advocacies. From 2:30 to 3 p.m., we will also listening from Mr. Michael Pinto to talk about public library advocacies. And by 3 o'clock to 3:30, we will be having Ma'am Nelia Balagapo, and she will be talking about special library advocacies. And after the plenary sessions, we will be having the open forum. And just before the end of the open forum, we will be posting the link for our evaluation. So we have evaluation for morning and afternoon during the plenary sessions. So this morning, wala po tayong evaluation form, but we will start this afternoon. Kindly make sure that you accomplish both the attendance sheet or attendance form and the evaluation form. Okay, and then for tomorrow, but before we move on, our evaluation form po pala will be closed tomorrow. Yung evaluation form po natin today will be closed tomorrow at 8 o'clock a.m. Ayan po. And for tomorrow, we will have the registration from 8 o'clock to 9 o'clock a.m. Again, registration will be from 8 to 9 o'clock a.m. And then by 9 to 10, we will be hearing from Mr. Simon Philip Sacramento, and he will be talking about clinical librarianship, information services, and how it assists health care. And from 10 o'clock to 11 o'clock, we will be having Mr. Gino A. Cabrera to talk about caring for librarians, mental health, wellness, and self-care amidst COVID-19 pandemic. And from 11 o'clock to 12 noon, we will be having the open forum. And just like what we are going to do this afternoon, we will again have the evaluation link just before the end of our morning session. Don't forget po. And for those who have been with us ever since we began with the webinar sessions in 2020, you have already, or you might already be familiar that we always start our activity on time. So this is in adherence to Republic Act number 10535 or the Philippine Standard Time Act of 2013. So yung Filipino time po na alam natin is Oras Pinas. So ang Oras Pinas ay sakto. Hindi po late, hindi po maaga, hindi din po late. Ano ba ang late? Okay. So in the afternoon for tomorrow, we will be having 1 o'clock. We will be having the registration from 1 o'clock to 1:30. And from 1:30 to 3 o'clock, we will be listening from Ms. Maria Feby Singson on the topic Gender Sensitivity and God Perspective, an Introduction for Librarians. So isa lang po yung session natin in the afternoon. And by 3:30 to 5 p.m., we will be have the open forum. And the same po, we will have the evaluation link before the session will end. Ayan. So magkakaiba po ang links, attendance link natin from the first day to the third day. So wag niyo pong kakalimutang mag-accomplish ng both of the attendance and the evaluation form. And for the third day, ayan, ito po, third day. So we will be having the registration from 8 o'clock to 9 o'clock a.m. And then, ayan, from 9 o'clock to 9:30, Ms. Linderlit M. Maglake will be talking about the DOST-STII's services, resources, and products. We also have Ms. Marivic Narquita from 9:30 to 10 o'clock to talk about the DOST-STII books. So yung mga nagbabalak po na mag-avail po ng ating STII books, ayan, nakinig po kayo. And then, from 10 o'clock to 10:30, we have Mr. Jonathan D. Abalon, who will be talking about DOST Info Service. And from 10:30 to 12 noon, we will have the open forum. Okay. Ayan. And in the afternoon of day 3, and may registration po ulit tayo from 1 o'clock to 1:30. And then 1:30 to 2, Ms. Michelle B. Arespe, she will be talking about nuclear information for all, research support at DOST PNRI. And we will have open forum for this one, for this topic. And then we will have Ms. Jel Miranda to talk about DOST-TV, Science for the People, from 2:30 to 3 o'clock in the afternoon. After her talk will be the open forum. Ayan po. So those are the topics we have prepared for you. After the plenary sessions, magkakaroon po tayo ng closing ceremonies. And this will be done from 3:30 to 5 o'clock p.m. And magkakaroon po tayo ng announcement of winners. Nagkaroon po kami ng pa-contest, patimpalak. Katulad ng book face photography contest, fan art contest, learning at home selfie contest, and essay writing contest. And i-award po yung mga nanalo on the 3rd day. We will also have the announcement of NSTW 2021 activities. NSTW is National Science and Technology Week. And nagkataon po na ang National Science and Technology Week ay nasa November din po. Nagkaroon po ng, sorry about that. Okay. Ayan. So marami pong nagtatanong kasi, marami po tayong inquiry and sorry about that. Ayan. So once again, wag po nating kalilimutan ang attendance form and evaluation form, and we start on time. Ayan. Parang may nakita akong tanong kanina. We will just... I would like to ask if this webinar series has CPD points. Okay. Surprise. Ayan. So, ninervyos ba kayo? Yes, we are working on that. So, ang gagawin po natin, we might not be able to send you immediately your certificates. However, we will not be able to send you immediately the certificates, and we will wait for the confirmation of the CPD points from our from the council. Ayun po. Okay, so I guess that's it for this morning, and we will see you this afternoon. Again, we start on time, so kung gusto niyo pong makasama sa ating Zoom room, we will be opening our Zoom room at 12:45. So pasok na po kayo sa waiting room natin sapagkat ang kaya lang pong ma-accommodate ng ating Zoom room ay 1,000 participants po. At kapag po hindi kayo nakasama sa Zoom room, okay lang din naman po that you join us via our Facebook live streaming sa facebook.com/DOST-STII library. Okay po, wala pong pagkakaiba kung sa Facebook live po kayo manood or sa Zoom room, provided that you accomplish our attendance sheet or attendance form and evaluation form. So this 3-day webinar series is in partnership with the Philippine Librarians Association Incorporated. And link ng evaluation. Ayan. So once again, wala po tayong evaluation this morning. And we will be utilizing same Zoom link from day 1 to day 3. And if ever po na busy kayo, balik lang po kayo sa using the same link. Okay po? Again, our Facebook account is facebook.com/STII library. Ayan. So excited na ba kayo for this afternoon? Ayan, yes daw. Okay, so kailan naman po makukuha ang certificate? The certificate will be provided. Usually, we provide the certificate within 10 working days. Our working days are from Mondays to Thursdays from 7 a.m. in the morning to 6 p.m. So 6 in the afternoon. So we work 4 days a week, 10 hours a day. Ayan. So again, ang ating Facebook page ay facebook.com/STII library. Ayan. So since excited na ang lahat, magkakaroon tayo ng maagang hapunan para maaga din po tayong makapasok mamaya sa ating plenary session. Ayan, excited much. Thank you so much everyone and see you this afternoon.